Aren't you tired with Google and Facebook guessing your daily media spend? From now on, your agency's or your client's media spending will no longer surprise you. You have now access to Reefkig Budgets, an awarded solution developed for performance media agencies that will make sure you will never miss out on your targeted media spend. Now let's get back to business. So going to the first step. Okay, Reefkig Budget is part of a more complex ecosystem. It has a CRM and a task management system, which are and can be connected together. But one that is public right now is Reefkig Budgets. Like some of you already know a little bit about the product, as we have spoken in the past. But I am now going to, although they know about the product, they didn't use the product. So I am going to not mention that. I know that they have tested a little bit of that, but things have changed. The first thing that I want to point out is that when you have a lot of accounts, like Web Digital has a bit over 100 accounts, but when you have a lot of accounts, and when I say a lot, you mean 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, you would like to be able to not spend time just going in each account and calculating some damn numbers, because it makes absolutely no sense just to go in and calculate those numbers, make the multiplications, and just check out to see if they add up. So for that reason, you have here a dashboard, and in less than 50 seconds you can understand which one of your accounts needs your attention. So this is the main let's say sales point or sell point, or the main the problem that this solution solves. So you just come in here in the dashboard, you have listed all your accounts, as you can see, and you look at the deviation. You look at the deviation, and that tells you that the budget is not happening as planned. It is like you'd go to a doctor, a medic, a specialist, and it will tell you, you would go start saying, my back hurts. Now, it does not tell you why your back hurts, but the doctor knows how to point you towards a doctor specialized in back pain or something like this. So this is what this solution offers. So you add up the plan budget for that particular client, or you yourself as a specialist, you can do that for some of your clients, or the client itself can do that for himself, and then he can look and immediately he can see where the problem resides. So I presented 4 accounts, 4 study cases for each different problems. So this here, as you can see, in less than 10 seconds, you can see that everything is going according to plan. Everything looks great. Everything is on blue. Not a big problem. So you can go and carry on with your day. The next one, it's going a little slower. Some of the campaigns might not share as much, might not be as visible. The budget is not getting used, so the opportunities are getting lost. So for that reason, you have to look into this a little bit. Of course, looking at the projection here and the deviation, there is a little bit of half of the ideal is a deviation. That means there is a little bit to work with. So maybe some campaigns, some tests can be run right now. This is an opportunity for running tests. This is an opportunity for enhancing a little bit the auction price, going a little bit more aggressive into having more share, visibility for your ads. So this is one signal that's a simple signal, 10 seconds or less. Then you can see this happening on this account. So then there's the situation where there's burning a little bit more, but burning a little bit more connected by itself means that it's not going according to plan. And at the end of the day, at the end of the period that is analyzed here, at the end of the campaign cycle, or at the end of the campaign period, there will be a €400 budget spent more. So for that, some of the clients would be really upset if you'd go and say, you know what, we agreed on €2,500 a month, but now unfortunately we have spent €400 additional, and the results are not very good. Now if you do that and come to a client like that, you might lose the client. If the campaign is going good and you know that this is happening, you can a couple of days before the campaign ends, you can go to the client and say, you know what, I see an opportunity because the results are getting better. Let's adjust the budget and add a little bit more of the 400 euro and put it on top of that 2400, and that is an opportunity for you to grow your revenue and your orders, for example, if it's an online shop. Now, the other example is that when everything is because it's a big budget here, everything is going accordingly, so it's going good, but there's a little deviation. But there's a lot of time to go in, and now you do not know where this deviation comes from, so you have to drill down. You have to drill down, and for that reason, we have this drill down called subdivisions. And as you can look at one account on all your accounts, then you switch to subdivisions, you choose the account, and you use the subdivisions in that particular account. What does that mean? What are these subdivisions? Subdivisions, you can group campaigns together on several criteria. For example, you can do the Google search brand campaigns. You maybe have 2 brand campaigns. If you're familiar with Google search, you might have single SKAGs, right? Single keyword ad groups that perform very well. And if you have SKAGs, you would have like 10 or 15 SKAGs on search brand campaigns. But for a client or for someone that has to go and look for every spend for every SKAG, that would be a really complicated thing. Of course, you could go in every account, select the group of campaigns and so on and do the math. But here you can just group all of those SKAGs, for example, or one of the main brand campaign on search and the other secondary, let's say on misspelled or everything that is very dynamic, so you can use it in any way you can, and then you can group it together here and you have this search brand subdivision. Again, you can have the YouTube video in stream, so you have a video that is running your budget, is using your budget. You can plan budget for this one, and you can see how those things go. And again, on shopping ads and remarketing for search and so on and so forth. And further on, there is the possibility, which is less used now because it's a new option that we've developed for Reefkig budgets, where you can group subdivisions together, although they are from different channels. So for example, you have the YouTube video campaign here, and you have the Facebook video views campaign, and you just group them together in video campaigns. So then the budget is, you can look at the budget, the way it's spent within the video campaign, so you can better plan your budget, better plan and understand how the budget is going. So from a specialist standpoint, there is much more to do with this information. I mean, drilling down is not only, okay, I'm just making I'm playing with math here. I'm drilling down and grouping the campaign so you can have a better look and a faster look on what happens. For example, conversion non-branded campaigns and conversion campaigns. This does not affect the fact that this overlaps. So the non-branded campaigns and conversion campaigns, they overlap. But here in the group sections, there's no problem. In the subdivision, all of this adding up makes the budget of the account. But here in the groups, they don't make the same. They look at sections from the account, but sections within, so they can combine some aspects of the subdivisions. Here, if you want to drill down and imagine this is the view that one sees when it has more than 50 accounts, this would be the accounts view for Web Digital, but for some others this is the subdivision account. Web Digital has more than 300 subdivisions on accounts, better close to 500 subdivisions, so you can easily see which piece of the campaign is needs attention. So groups, again, you can split groups, and I'm going to show you how you can split groups and how the study cases go. For example, you can split on ads on Greece, ads on Romania, built-in dishwashers or portable dishwashers, or as I showed you, conversion campaigns, conversion non-branded campaigns, and video campaigns, mixing together different channels. And yes, you would say, what about Seznam? What about other? What about LinkedIn? What about Bing? Of course, we'll be adding APIs for those as well. But at this moment, you can add that manually if that is your desire. So you have the account view, which I was glad to see that Mihai pointed out how they use it at Web Digital. Drilling down, You have the subdivisions that you can check out which of the subdivisions generate the problems in planned versus consumption of budget. So then you go drilling down and looking at subdivisions and at groups, of course, helping you with all the information. What I want to point out is the currency, because sometimes the currency is different. So you have a problem in how you look at the different types of currencies. For example, you get ads in Romania, but the budget is in Romanian because one of your accounts is a Romanian account. And then you have ads in Greece, which is the account in Greece. So what you can do, you can add multiple accounts, multiple layers of accounts in a single view here. So you can get the accounts on the Google Ads account, you can get the Greek ad account, you can get the Facebook Greek ad account, Google Romanian Google account, Romanian Facebook account, and so on and so forth, if you do them separately, even with different agencies. And you can put everything together and have here the control tower, and you can look at that. So for example, social views, and I was explaining here, you have YouTube views and Facebook video views, which are video campaigns grouped together, the subdivisions. Good. So then how you split the budget? So we developed two types of splitting the budget. So there's one type which is manual. It's the little person over there. So the allocation of the budget is manual. So you use it and say, I want to spend 3,000 euros on this Facebook video view. So on each subdivision, so each group of campaigns that you have, you use the budget. And then going further, you have automatic allocation, which means that it looks like the way that the budget was consumed in the past by each of the subdivisions, and then it allocates budget from the main account budget in the same way that the budget was consumed. So this way, the one that uses more budget and is more likely to have more opportunities, to miss less opportunities, that is the one that gets more budget allocated. So then you would just try to look at the ones that are not meeting that planned budget and again the performance. And you can do that with currencies happening. You can manage percentages and so on and so forth, and you have a beautiful simple view here. Everybody doesn't need too complicated skills. You don't need to know Facebook ads, you don't need to know Google ads, you don't need to know Google Analytics, you don't need to. It can be for everyone that starts in your agency in like an account manager can look on the budget side and can analyze this. And this product is developed also for the clients. So in the end, I'm gonna I would like to ask for your help in growing this solution also for clients on the client side. One thing that I want to point out is the elasticity, so elastic budgeting. So some clients, and we've seen this by listening to Web Digital and to other agencies that are using Reefkig budgets, like Next Advertising and so on, and they were seeing this type of clients which have some sort of an elastic budget. They say, you know what, our budget is not 25,000, but it is 25,000, and it can grow to 5,000 additional, so it can go to 30,000, or it can go lower, but no lower than 21,000. So you have this elasticity of the budget. So how do we handle that? We put this elasticity, and then as the budget is over consumed, we adjust the initial planned budget and we readjust it to make it in the elasticity zone. So for that reason, why do we do this? Because everything else changes. So everything else changes. You have automatic allocation within subdivisions, and everything changes if the KPIs are met. So we added KPIs as well. We added objectives, not only performance, budget performance indicators, but objective indicators. For what? For assisted conversions, every goal that you have in Google Analytics, even sessions. So you can do with Reefkig budget something you can do. You can, instead of seeing how many clicks you got, which is an information that you can find, but we see how many sessions out of those campaigns you got, and how much does a session cost? Because you have definitely seen, if you have a little bit of experience, and I'm sure you have plenty with Google Analytics, there is a big gap between the amount of clicks you see and the amount of sessions you see. So it's a little different. So maybe you would like to look at that as well. So we consider that a lesser objective. For that is a tertiary objective, not a secondary objective, but a tertiary objective. And you have 3 layers of objectives. I'm not going to go into that, but the idea is that you can have structured objectives on your conversion funnel as well. So nearer to the head of the funnel, you have primary objectives, which are orders, which are purchases, and so on. And at the entry of the funnel, you have lesser valuable objectives, which can be, I don't know, maybe sessions or visits to a certain page, and so on and so forth, like a goal. And this goes for manually added leads. For example, you have calls and you want to add up those calls. You might be able to do it automatically, but you can also adjust this manually by adding some of the calls here in the objective area. And that goes with a wide range of objectives, and these objectives come back here, and we sum them up, we round them up, and we call them actions. And you have a certain CPA, very dynamically constructed for everybody. If you want to add only sessions, that's fine. If you want to add even more, if you want to add purchases or orders, that's fine. You can do whatever you think it's helpful for your campaign, and that means you can see the price for every action managed by the total consumption and so on and so forth. So you have some quality objective here fast. So in 10 seconds or less, you can understand whether this account is going the right way or the wrong way. Of course, it doesn't tell you if it's a tumor or something, just a back pain. It tells you that the back is the problem. So you have to go and check a back doctor, someone that is handling that back problem. So for that reason, you guys your lives and your activities can be focused on managing quality and not this repetitive quantitative tasks. And I can tell you that through my ongoing analysis, and I've been developing this tool for the last 6 years, and Reefkig Solution as a startup company, we're now looking for investors from 2020 build company, and now we're starting looking for investors for Reefkig budgets, is been saving about 8 hours per week. Okay, because you have to make the math for the budgets. You have to make the math in any way possible. You use data studio connected with some metrics or whatever you do. In some particular way, you use the calculation, you do the math, and this way is the easiest.